Are you sick and tired of financial gurus telling you they've cracked the code to wealth? At Investing Essentials, I'm handing you my simple, trusted, personal playbook to invest like a millionaire with wealth planning strategies I've never shared publicly. It's virtual, so you can join from anywhere. Click the link in the show notes to get your tickets.
This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
All right, Susan's with us in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm a 62-year-old divorcee. I have zero debt. I don't own a home, but my car is paid for. And I'm living with my partner who does not charge me rent. I have approximately $1.5 million in retirement funds. And my question is, what is a good amount that I could take out monthly and still have enough to live on? Because my biggest fear is running out of money. And I live very frugally now. I live on $2,000 a month. And I think I need just guidance in what's a safe amount.
Let's just do some basic math, okay?
Okay. Sure.
What's your $1.5 million invested in?
Traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, and
No, I mean, what's the investment? Good mutual funds, growth stock mutual funds?
Yes.
Okay, so you think the portfolio is averaging what the market has averaged, around 11%, 12%?
Yes.
Okay. And so if your 1.5 is going up by, let's pretend, if it's going up by 12% a year, and you pulled off 8%, that means it would still go up by 4% a year. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so 8% of $1.5 million is $120,000 a year.
Whoa.
$10,000 a month.
Yeah, I could do that.
I think you're okay.
You said you spend $2,000 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a ways away. You could upgrade your life.
So, and here's the idea. Here's the thing. If we make 12 and we pull off 8, we never touch the 1.5 and it grows by 4 a year, you never even touch the principal, much less run out of money.
Yeah, that's where I get hung up on, because I see it as a finite amount, and
it's not finite if you never touch it. It's perpetual.
If you cash it out and put it in a checking account,
infinite.
it would become finite.
It's mathematically infinite if you don't touch it.
Okay. And what about the common 4% rule? It comes out that it would be about $60,000 gross.
Well, what about that common? What the hell? What common? What kind of common? I mean, why do we want to be common? I don't want to be common anything.
What's funny
You're
is
reading the internet.
The guy who
That's
came up
dumb.
with that came out and said, that was way too conservative. It's probably more like 5.5 for me now.
Who knows what it is? If the inflation rate's 4 and you pull off 8 and you leave 4 in there, there's a common rule. Let's go with that common rule. I just made up a new common rule. The financial world, the world of CFPs, Certified Financial Planners, financial advisors, financial goobers who get degrees in finance like I did, a bunch of nerds in a pile, often become Pharisees. And they get caught up in the world of hypotheticals to where they can't even use any common sense anymore, because we get paralysis of the analysis because we're so good at math, those of us that do that world. George is studying CFP right now, and you've observed this. I call them Certified Financial Pharisees, and so instead of Certified Financial Planners, but CFPs. But not all of them are, but some can get caught up in that.
If you had to generalize the community.
Then the dumb butts write articles on the internet. And they write stuff like the common rule, or the common rule of 4% withdrawal rate. So but here's the trick, folks. You need to learn to do your own math, because these people spend so much time over analyzing this stuff that there's nothing left when they finish. And their set of assumptions most of the time is so asinine that it doesn't apply to the real world. So just learn to do your own math. So here's the rule. Here's some basic things you can do math with, all right? The inflation rate has averaged for the last 84 years the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, is what we measure inflation with, 4.2%. That means on average your money has lost its purchasing power 4% a year. Now, Biden and COVID, we had some 9 and 10%. Carter, we had some 10 and 12 and 14%. And gas lines in the 70s if you're old, okay? But still, the average over 80-plus years is about 4%. And so if you're going to project out from age 60 to age 100, your retirement years, then 4% is probably pretty good. There might be some years it's higher. There might be some years it's lower. The average, which is the middle, it's not the median, but it's the average, is still 4%. So if you do that, if you're making 12 on your money and you leave 4 in there, your money grows by as much as it lost in purchasing power. You broke even. That's pretty simple, right? So if you let your money grow by 4%, you're not only not deteriorating your nest egg, the goose is just fine, and he's still laying some small golden eggs. But we're taking 8 of the 12. That'll run in perpetuation forever. Do your own math. But some goober said, well, we need to inflation adjust. I just did. We need to adjust for this and that, and we need to have a conservative number, and we need to use real dollars, and we need to use CGR, and would you shut up and join us over here in the real world? Because if you draw 4% and you leave 8% in there, this money's going to double in about 7 years. And this poor woman has worked her whole life to have $1.5 million. She's a freaking millionaire.
She's scared to live.
And she's scared to live because she read your stupid butt common law goal, whatever the garbage the line was, for 4% withdrawal rates. And I've seen 4% withdrawal rates for 40 years that I've been on the air doing this.
That study was done in 1994. That's the crazy part. And here's what's wild. When you actually look into the study, it has a lot of assumptions. It was a low market returns, high inflation, assuming your portfolio had a whole lot of bonds in it.
Assuming your portfolio sucked.
Exactly. And to your point, Dave, I read an article from a highly respected CFP that everyone in the community would say, this guy knows what he's talking about. Here's what he found. Over 2/3 of the time, the 4% rule leaves retirees finishing their 30-year horizon with more than double their starting principal.
And that's if they suck at investing.
That's pretty wild to think about.
Put it in a decent mutual fund instead of a bunch of stupid bonds like some of you CFPs tell them to do. You know, I'm 65. You know how many bonds I own? Precisely 0, which upsets the CFP community to no end because don't you understand asset allocation? Yeah, I understand how dumb the theory is, and I'm not going to follow it because if there's anything I am, it's defiant. I'm 100% defiant of stupidity. So, and I'm not wearing a mask either, so shut up. I mean, I'm just defiant, right?
He likes to go against the grain, guys.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's worked out really good for me. So here's the thing. If you make 12 because you've got good growth stock mutual funds and you get average market returns, the S&P, the Standard & Poor's 500 is average 11.8. So if you make 12 on your money and you pull off only 4, that leaves 8. That means your money's still going to double every 10 years. Not 30 years, whoever did the study, the second study you referenced, okay? So that means her $1.5 million, she's 62 years old, at 72, she's going to have $3 million and have lived on 4% because she was scared by your stupid butt analysis on the internet. See, this makes me livid. When you put out bad information and these people work their whole lives and now you've still got them on beans and rice because you overanalyze everything in your pharisaical mindset. You're killing me out there. And then Dave Ramsey makes people poor. No, Dave Ramsey made them rich so they don't have to worry about people like you. That's what, oh, God, the 4% rule. Did I get hyped up on that? But anyway.
His blood pressure. If you had one of these watches on, it'd be like, hey, you need to take a walk.
Well, because these people have worked so hard.
It's hope stealing. I mean, they're going, well, you need more.
Hope stealers.
Nope, you need more. You need at least $7 million.
$1.5 million, and it's still not enough. It's still not enough. It's like Zillow came out with an article last week. 243 cities It takes $1 million to buy a starter home, and they put out that as the clickbait headline. When Zillow's own data says that the typical starter home is $199,000, but they managed to find 242 cities in California.
They cherry-picked the highest cost of living areas.
That have $1 million starter home. Well, guess what? You don't need to be living in those stupid cities if you're buying your first house and you're a broke newlywed. So you can't live in Manhattan. It's too expensive. But Zillow puts out there as if the first-time home, they're stealing everybody's hope. First-time home buyers are all out of the market because 242 cities have $1 million starting. See, that's just a freaking lie is what that is for clickbait. And gets people fired up when the average starter home right now in America, this moment, according to freaking Zillow, is $199,000. This is how dumb these people are.
Well, they cherry-picked it. Now they're going, hey, check out our site for affordable homes.
Exactly.
Today.
And so this is why you can't trust people like Zillow, because they're going to clickbait you into believing something that's not true, according to their own data. And the 4% withdrawal rate is not true, according to marketplace data that has been around, if you can do basic sixth grade math. So if you're invested in good mutual funds, you can withdraw 6 to 8% and never touch your principal.
Dave,
and leave 100% of your nest egg to your kids. And so if you got $1 million, that's $60,000 to $80,000 a year, and never touch the principal. It will grow.
It's crazy. This CFP,
that is a 4%
which, again,
rule.
it's one of the CFPs. He even said at the end of this, using linear return projections, he found a retiree could safely withdraw roughly 6.6%. That's coming from a respected CFP. So to say that you can't do 6%, you're going to run out of money, is hogwash.
8% for that matter, you're still not going to run out of money.
So 4% is way too conservative. You'll end up, you'll have a good problem. You'll leave a whole lot of money, but in the meantime, you didn't live your life.
Yeah. So I've got a buddy that's, he's my age, he's 65. He's got 3,000 bottles of wine in his cellar.
That's
There's
an
no
nest egg
possible
right there.
way he's going to drink it all. It's the same thing. He's never going to get through that wine. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. He's going to have to sell off some of it or leave it to his kids.
His kids will be like, well, what do we
there's
do
no
with
possible
this?
way. Same thing. It's impossible to destroy a collection of that size in your lifetime. It's the same exact scenario.